Alright, today we're going to specifically talk about software. Software is a key element to make technology work. Software is developed by people. Those people are programmers, and software controls the hardware. So we have a video for you to watch there. You know, anybody can write code, and we will write some code in this course. Not a lot, but we'll write some so that you get some experience. Software tells the hardware what to do. Okay, we have two basic types of software. We have system software and we have applications. Applications, I'll mention that first. A good example, word processing is an application piece of software. A browser, like you use to access the internet, Chrome, IE, Microsoft Edge, Safari, Firefox, Opera, all those are also application software. Most of the software that we use as users are application software. And you hear the term often used, apps, especially on portable devices. Let's move back to system software. System software is what communicates directly with the hardware. We have two basic areas that we discussed in class. It's much more complex than this, but for our class we are going to talk about the operating system and utility software. Okay, let's go to the operating system first. It's often abbreviated OS. Typical names of operating systems: Windows, right? And we're now up to Windows 10. We have Linux, which is quite popular. We have Mac OS, the operating system inside of Macintosh. These would be for PCs, workstations, and so forth. We also have operating systems that are little I OS for Apple, Android for phones, and BlackBerry, they have one, and so does Microsoft. Those are the main ones for portable devices and their operating systems. Okay, the operating system communicates with the hardware. The operating system communicates with the hardware. Humans communicate a little bit with the hardware, but basically through some type of application. An application communicates through the operating system. So if you have an application that's designed for an Android, get it? Then it will not function on a BlackBerry, iOS, or Microsoft phone software. Like an application written for Linux will not be compatible with Windows or Mac. Applications are designed to run with a particular operating system. Now we have utilities. A simple example of utility, sometimes virus software, people will categorize that under utility. Any type of file management software, any type of file management type software, where you can look at your files and so forth. There's a whole set of different tasks you can do on your computer that would fall under utility software. It helps you manage details of the operating system, but it's really not an application. Okay? Alright, that's enough of that for now. We'll review that enough as we go along. Really important topics there. Let's take a look here at horizontal and vertical software. You don't need to know a lot about these. Vertical software is software that's used in, let's say, a particular industry. Let's say the medical industry, or a certain type of manufacturing might have software just designed for this type of manufacturing. Horizontal software covers a broad range of things. For example, horizontal software, like if you had a group of applications like a suite where you have word processing. Word processing can be used in any business. Spreadsheets in any business. A simple database in any business. Those spread across all realms of business. They're not designed for a certain particular area. So the medical field can use word processing because it's a horizontal piece of software. It's designed to be used across lots of different industries. Okay? Where is your software? Could be on your device. You can get it off a server, or you can get it out of a cloud. Okay? A lot of computers have software stored right on their hard drives. And they load it from the hard drive into memory, and then it's used. Okay? You can get the software off a server. You can load to have a server that has the software stored, and then you can load that, let's say, into your laptop. So you could get it from there and then use it. Or a lot of software is being stored in the cloud, and you can get it off the web. An example that we're using in class would be a simple one would be Google Docs. We run that software off the cloud. Microsoft is starting to run its Office package out of the cloud. Microsoft, what is it called, 360 or 365, whatever it's called, something like that. That's out of the cloud. You run the software from the cloud on your computer. Some common applications, you can have email clients like Microsoft Outlook, or you can run your email off of a browser, Microsoft Edge, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Chrome, and there's others. There's all kinds of gaming software out there nowadays. Software to play your music, media software, productivity software, I talked about those, like word processing, spreadsheets, database, all kinds of graphic software. You can do graphic things. There's software that allows you to capture pictures and then send those pictures, update your Facebook with your pictures, and so forth. Last thing on this section, proprietary software versus open source software. Source code is what a programmer writes that helps develop software. So when we say it's open source, that means the source code is open. More or less, it's free for use. Okay? There is probably more open software than you realize, and we're going to talk about it as the term goes on. For example, a lot of browsers, like Firefox, you don't buy it, you just download it. Okay? So that's open source. It's free. Open source doesn't mean free, but we'll define that more specifically later on. Proprietary software is somebody owns it, and most of the time you lease the use of it. Even though it looks like you buy it, you can't what they call decompile it and put it back into the source code and do with it what you want. Microsoft products, Adobe products. There are lots of products out in the world that are proprietary. You purchase some, and then you have certain rights based on some type of license of what you can do with the software. You know, how many users you can have using it and so forth. Okay? So you can think of, if you ever develop software, if you started selling it, you'd make it proprietary. If you allowed people to just use it, it would be open source. Lots of that to come up later on. Okay? So, to review, we have software. So if we were to think of this diagram, let me give you a little diagram here to finish up. You have hardware, all the equipment of the computer. What typically communicates with the hardware is the operating system. Okay, you got to have an operating system. It doesn't make a difference if your hardware is a smartphone, if your hardware is a laptop, a desktop, you know, whatever device it is. The hardware, you have to have an OS to communicate with it. And we went over some of those OSs, right? You know, between Windows and Linux and so forth. And if it's a smartphone, nowadays, the Apple operating system or the Android. Okay? And then inside there you may have a utility software that also allows you to communicate with the hardware. For example, a file management software that might allow you to delete files off a hard drive, which a hard drive would be a piece of hardware. And then to finish it up, outside here, in order to access this, we have apps, we have applications. And the applications then must work through the OS. So if your OS is Windows, then you have to have applications that run on Windows, whatever version and so forth. And then using the application is the user. That's it.